Okay, everyone, we're going to get started in a few seconds. Yeah, feel free to share what school you're representing. I really appreciate everyone being here, especially on a gorgeous day like today. You're spending it in front of a computer with me, learning about AI, which I'm appreciative. Thank you so much. So, yes, feel free to share in the chat what school you're representing, and then we will get started. Thomas Edison, nice, 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 nice. Very cool. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. Okay. Good amount of folks here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Okay, let's begin. Folks, it's 5 o'clock. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Tuesday afternoon, gorgeous day. My name is Santi Karasamy, and I'm going to be leading this 1-hour virtual session on the new Generative AI for Educators course and certification. I'm joined by Tracy Pitts, part of Project Recess. She's going to be helping manage the chat. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to put it in the chat, and we'll answer your questions. So let's get started. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. Thank you so much. Yeah, feel free to keep sharing your schools in the chat. I love seeing where everybody's coming from. And I did pin a message. I hope everyone can see it. So essentially, it's the link to the slide deck. Yes, you're going to get 1 hour of CTLE credit. I'm going to share the form at the end where you can request that certificate. And then this is being recorded, and I'm going to share this recording as well as all the resources that I go over. I'm going to email them to you. So if you don't feel like taking notes, don't worry about it. All right, just relax. And we're going to go over all of the information here. All right, so yes, this is the Generative AI for Educators course and certification session. Again, my name is Santi. I'm the founder of a company called Project Recess. We've been supporting New York City public schools for, man, over 10 years. Time flies. We're Google's primary partner for offering professional development. So hopefully many of the folks here attended our sessions on getting level 1 or 2 certified, learning to become a trainer. We've been partnering with many schools on leveraging AI, as well as, how do we use the existing tools that are approved and safe and here to support teaching and learning. We partner with schools individually. We are an official PD provider. We're an official contracted vendor with New York. So if anybody is interested in, working with us, partnering with us, please send me an email. We love to build these partnerships with individuals. All right. So I've been a collaborator on various AI projects, a lot of them with Google. And I don't consider myself an expert because AI is changing every day, and it's the Wild West, and we're all learning together. So yes, I've been a part of these things. I lead these sessions, but I love sort of reinforcing the idea that we are all learning this together. It's everything's moving so quickly, and we're all starting from the same playing field. Okay, so we're all here to learn from each other. I would love to learn from everyone here as well. Feel free to share your thoughts in the chat if if you have a question or if you want to share what you're doing in your school. It's all brand new. All this AI stuff is brand new. Nobody's an expert. We're just learning. So what are we going to do today? The goals of the session: by the end of the course, this free course, learners will be able to identify ways Gen AI can assist with their professional practice, in terms of teaching, but also administrative tasks. You'll get a better understanding of writing prompts using an AI tool. And notice that I'm saying an AI tool. I'm not naming anything specifically. One of the things I love about this course, and I'm going to keep going back to this, is that this course was developed to be AI tool agnostic, meaning the things that you learn in this course, you can apply to Gemini, to ChatGPT, to Claude, to Magic School, Copilot, whatever AI tool you're using. A lot of the content that you're learning in this course can be applied to that. All right, so what else? You will be able to learn how to create classroom resources using an AI tool, etc. So an overview: who is the primary audience for this course, this free course that's offered by Google? The primary audience are high school and middle school educators of any subject. And of course, I want to emphasize primary audience. If you're teaching elementary, if you're not a teacher at all, I think you could still benefit from the content of this course to help you better understand how to leverage AI to support your work. right? No technical experience required, which is huge. You know, we're educators here. You know, I'm sure some of us have technical background in how to use these tools, but you know, I'm sure many of you don't. I myself have a very limited technical expertise on these things, but it doesn't matter because the focus of this course is not necessarily learning the technical aspects, but like just learning how to use the tool, which is great. All right. And then yes, primary audience, any teacher who's interested in using AI to save time and enhance student education could benefit from this course. And a key emphasis on saving time. And when I have conversations with teachers, when my company has conversations with schools and districts, we really emphasize the idea of saving time because with these tools, and I'm sure many people here are seeing this, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? Like if you're looking at creating quiz questions or you know, generating a lesson plan or rubrics, you can take what you have and then you can make multiple versions of it using these tools, which is amazing. So you could save a lot of time. And so by the end of this course, participants should be able to, as I mentioned, identify ways Gen AI can assist you, write prompts, and create classroom resources. All right, so those are what participants should be able to do when you take this 2-hour course that's free. I added this slide in recently because I just added this information to the website of the course. So there's a survey that you take after you complete the course, and yeah, 83% of the thousands of teachers who've taken this expect to save 2 hours or more a week using Gen AI tools, and that resonates with me because I feel like using these tools for the past 2 years, I also see how much time this is saving in terms of, again, not reinventing the wheel, helping me, polish up emails or, revamp a proposal or make new resources from my existing things. Like these are all saving time. And then 74% of the people polled who took this course, they feel confident in their ability to use Gen AI in the classroom. So those are pretty overwhelmingly positive numbers for people who are taking this course. All right. So this free course is organized into these different sections: intro, AI tools and responsible use, strategies for effective results, bringing AI into your practice, and planning your next steps. All right, so that's how it's organized. So more details. It's designed to help teachers feel comfortable and excited about AI. Again, all of this stuff is very new. There's a lot that many people don't know or understand about these tools, and so there's a lot of trepidation. There's a lot of, rightfully so, caution around using these tools. But again, this course is essentially helping you develop a better understanding of these tools so you can be a little bit more at ease and comfortable using them in your class. The content is designed for teachers to use these tools in practical ways. And what's interesting is that this course currently does not talk about how to use these tools with students. This is more about you as educators building your own expertise in using it with your, with your resources, with your lesson plans, etc. When you so you get to a place and then you can start experimenting with students. I will be sharing resources at the end. If you are interested in using these tools with students, there's some free, amazing resources that are, that include curriculum on how to integrate these tools with your kids, with your class. So if that's something you're interested in, we do have resources we're going to share, but this course specifically doesn't talk about that. The entire focus of this course is on you, the educator. All right, building a foundation. And yeah, this thing can be completed in 2 hours or less. You don't have to do it in one sitting, just like your level 1 or level 2 exam. You can take a break from it. You can do 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there. But altogether, if you did sit down and do it, it would take around 2 hours or less to complete. And then, as I mentioned, it's tool agnostic. All the things you learn in this course can be applied to virtually any AI tool that's out there, which I think was an awesome choice from Google and MIT, who they partnered with to develop this course. All right, yeah, focus on the skill, not the tool. The aspects of this course, there are some interactives on there. I'll I'll just answer this question real quick. Adam, will this work with DeepSeek? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Again, the things that you learn in this course help you navigate how to use an AI tool, be it DeepSeek or Grok or whatever. Most of these AI tools work similarly, and yeah, the content in this course will, again, it will apply to any AI tool. That being said, not every AI tool is approved to be used in New York City schools. Most of them are not, rightfully so, for privacy concerns. So if you are using these tools, I highly recommend that you're using IRMA approved, or like a tool that is approved for the DOE to use. Currently, Magic School and Microsoft Copilot and I believe Gemini will soon be enabled. Not sure when, but soon. Going back to the slide deck, at the end of the course, you do get a certificate, like a legitimate certificate. And the course is optional. You could do the course and just take the information in, and that's it. But I highly recommend you going the extra step and taking the optional 12-question assessment. Not difficult at all when you go through the course. 12 questions, not terrible. And then you get this really cool certificate that you can link on your LinkedIn or your email signature or your resume or what have you. And it's a legitimate certificate from Google and MIT saying that you completed this course and you are an educator that knows how to leverage these tools in ways that support teaching and learning. All right, so you can get that if you pass that 12-question assessment with 80% or higher. And yes, you could take the test again if you don't make it the first time. As this bullet point says, you can take it multiple times. All right. So a little bit more information about the course. What I appreciate about it, one of the many things, is that it talks about how AI is, augmenting, affecting, changing not only education, but every industry. We've all been using AI for a long time, even before ChatGPT and other generative AI tools, right? There's AI in our, phone voice assistants like Siri or Google Home. There's AI in our, maps, in our photo tools. We've been using it for a long time. The past 2 years, generative AI has been like the main focus of everything. But what this course does, it sort of like brings you back and says, hey, AI is in a lot of things that we use. It's really ubiquitous. So one of the examples that I appreciate, farming and agriculture. Farmers use AI, possibly cameras, to identify invasive species before they cause extensive crop damage, recognizing subtle signs of infestations and identify pests at a microscopic level. Like that's pretty interesting. So all this, again, this is just like a taste of like what kind of content, what kind of questions are in this course. Gives you a broader idea of how we are using AI today, and then how we can use it in the classroom. All right. So let's take a look what this course looks like. Again, I'm going to email this out to everybody. I pinned a message actually here. I'll throw this in the chat because I don't think that was in the pinned message. If you want to open this in a new tab, it's up to you. So I just put in the chat a link to the actual course. Okay, so this is, you can access it for free. And there are different resources in the course. So I'll jump to the actual course and I'll show what it looks like, but it does go over different resources. All right, so what's included in the want to learn more section at the end. There's some handouts that you could share with other educators, even your students, if you're interested. So there's information on how to write a prompt, a responsibility checklist, a prompt library, and a glossary. All these things that help you develop a deeper understanding of how to use AI tools. All right. So this is another resource that's part of it. This is Google's history of AI in education. So again, there's some terms on there also: large language model, machine learning. These are things that we've heard before, but we might not necessarily know like the concrete definition of. So that's all in there. All these are free. Again, I'm going to email all this out for everybody if this is something you're interested in. And then it's interactive in the slide deck also. If you click on it, it'll open up a new tab, and you have some information here. So Google's Guide to AI in Education. All right, so that's one of the resources that's part of it. The glossary, I'm a big fan of the glossary. Again, like I don't have a background in AI, so it's good to know the terms that people are talking about. So if I increase the size here, so, algorithm, AI model, AI tool, chain of thought, hallucination. Um, I think it's interesting, like how popular of a word hallucination has become. So essentially, if you're not familiar with that, in terms of how AI works, a hallucination is any inaccurate or misleading output from an AI tool. So these tools are great. At the same time, they hallucinate and they can give you information that's incorrect many times, right? So you have to make sure that you're vetting the information that's coming from these AI tools. And those are the types of lessons that you'll learn in the course, all right? So there's a glossary that's in there, a responsibility checklist for ethical use of AI. So again, a big, sort of a big concept that we want teachers to have when you're using these tools is reviewing the AI output. One of the one of the most like entertaining, I guess, like analogies that I've heard on like how these AI tools work, and again, that could be Gemini, ChatGPT, what have you, is that these things are very confident in their responses, kind of like an intoxicated frat boy, just like very confident in what you're saying, even though it's not true. And so these tools, you can ask a question, it'll give you a response that sounds accurate, but you have to review it. At the end of the day, you are the educator, you are the expert in these domains. So you have to make sure that what these AI tools are giving you is true and is safe for you to give to your students. Yeah, disclose your use of AI, security, all of these things are in the responsibility checklist. This information will be covered, shared in the course. All right. So Tracy, did you raise your hand?
Yeah, but sorry, Barbara has just asked, and I don't actually know the answer. Can we do the course with the DOE email,
I believe,
or does it have to be our personal one?
I believe you can do it with your DOE account. So when you sign on to the course, you need to sign in with a Google account, right? It should work with your DOE account. Like in the case that it doesn't, you could use your personal one. It's really no preference. I know when we're doing like the level 1 and level 2 like registration, I usually encourage people to use their personal account because they're in the case that they maybe move to a different like district or whatever. So it could be the same way. You could use your personal account for this one, but yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you. Either one is fine. If you want to ensure that you will always have access to this, then yeah, perhaps use your personal account. All right. Even if you signed up with your DOE account, that's fine. You can just open up the same link in a different profile where you are signed into your personal account. So it doesn't matter if you signed in with your New York City schools account. It doesn't matter. Okay. That's a good question. If anybody has any more questions, feel free to put it in the chat. And Tracy, thank you feel free to raise your hand again. Thank you. So how we usually interact with these AI tools is that we ask it a question or what's known as a prompt, right? So you're asking it to do something. A prompt could be, write a lesson plan, for sixth grade students exploring, some a concept with, geology or Mesopotamia or something. That's your prompt. What you're asking the AI tool to do. And there are different ways to write prompts. And usually when I encounter people that say these AI tools don't work well, it's because they're not using the correct prompts or they're not asking, the right questions. Again, we're all educators here. We all know what makes a good question, and like what, how to be specific when we're asking for something. So in this course, they're using an acronym called PARTS, and that stands for persona, aim, recipients, theme, and structure. And it's encouraging you to think about that when you're writing your prompt. So persona, here's some examples. I am a math department lead. I'm a Spanish educator. Your aim, right? So what do you want to do? Do you want to create an assessment? Do you want to brainstorm ideas? Who's the recipient, of this? Do you want this lesson plan to be for sophomores or for adults? Theme, do you want it to be more formal or more informal? That's very important if you're asking these tools to help you with your like responding to emails. How formal do you want to be? How warm do you want to be? No more than 50 words. Do you want bullet points? And then structure. Oh yeah, that falls under that. Do you want to be bullet points, metaphors, graphs, quizzes, even emojis? So parts, that's an acronym that's in the course. And I think it's helpful. At the end of the day, when you are interacting with these AI tools, you want to give as much context as possible. And when you review the response from these AI tools, that in itself is a reminder of what information you may have left out, right? If you just say, hey, build me a lesson plan on, the solar system, it's going to be very general. It's not going to be personalized. You'll see that the response is not great. And then you'll say, oh, you know what? Let me be more specific. Let me say that I'm a 6th grade teacher. Let me say that I want this to focus on, students with disabilities or English language learners, or differentiate for this. So the more context you put into the prompts, the better. And that's explored in this course. All right. Prompt library. This is cool because it gives you an idea of like what, quote, good prompts look like. So this is included. And so here's one, right? Activities, developing activities from scratch. So this is cool because you can just copy and paste, right? Copy and paste this into your AI tool and just fill in the blanks here. I am a blank, based on the following information, suggest an engaging and interactive activity, all right? And you can put these in there. Learning objective, constraints. So that's an example of prompts. Again, that prompt library is included in the course, all right? And then here's more information if you want to continue learning about AI. And then, you know what? I'm going to come back to this. Let me jump into the actual course to show everybody what that looks like. Okay, so again, I put this link in the chat. If you Google Generative AI for Educators course, it'll show up. It's free. Again, takes 2 hours or less to complete. You sign in with your Google account. Sure, use your personal account if you want to make sure you have access to it. So this is the course. Let me make it a little bit bigger here. More information about it. You have a pre-survey. You got your intro. And so what does this look like? So I have another tab here. Okay, so this is still part of the course. I'm in it right now. This is just to show people how some of the interactives work. So it says, here's a quick activity to review a key concept from this lesson. All right, so you have some cards here that you can move around, and then you drop them into where they belong. So it says, generate email templates. So in the context of using an AI tool, if you're using, say, Gemini to generate email templates, would that relate to time savings, differentiation, lesson enhancement? If you feel inclined, feel free to put it in the chat. Where do you think this belongs? Where should I put this? Generate email templates, time savings, differentiation, lesson enhancement. All right, thank you folks for putting your responses in there. I'm gonna put it in lesson enhancement just to see what happens. All right, if I put it here, see that? It like went back. One more time. See, it went back. Now I'm gonna put it, everyone's saying time savings, all right? I'm gonna put it in there. Okay, then it took it. Then you move on to the next one, all right? Adapt a reading level based on student needs, okay? Again, if you want to put it in the chat. All right, Adam, folks, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Again, if I put it in the wrong one, it doesn't work, right? And I put this in here and it works. What's cool about that, like, yes, everybody likes a good interactive, but again, this is giving you a clearer idea of how you can use these AI tools. Again, any AI tool. So you can use these tools to create diagrams, charts, or other visuals to complement an activity. Lesson enhancement, right? You can create a schedule for family literacy night. Yes, if somebody said, not just one benefit, but we're looking for the best answer here, right? Create a schedule for family literacy night. That, time savings, sure, right? And then other things, create graphic organizers. So this is giving you ideas on how to use AI. Speaking of like building schedules, I've been having conversations with some school leaders, and one of the big pain points is how do we create master schedules for our teachers that don't, certain teachers don't overlap and they all complement. And like that can be, if anybody here has ever, built schedules for your teachers, it can be time consuming and tricky. People are using AI tools to help with that. They would upload their schedule and then they'd say, okay, build me schedules where, this person doesn't overlap with that, etc. So we're just learning a bunch of ways that we can use these tools to help us. All right, so that's part of again, this is the actual course that you go through. I'm just gonna jump around here, how to write an AI prompt. So this is one of the sections. Again, you don't have to do this in one sitting, you just do it at your leisure. All right, class communications, what does this say? So this is cool, class communications. They have a prompt that you can copy and paste. Use AI tools to generate a personalized and informative email to families. So here's the prompt. Write a short morning announcement reminding 7th graders to bring a bag lunch for tomorrow's field trip to the botanical gardens. So if I copy this and I have Gemini open here, okay? So currently Gemini is not open to it. You cannot access Gemini with your New York City public school accounts. However, it's going through that IRMA security review process. And so soon, the word on the street is soon that you'll have access to this. So if you did want to practice with Gemini, I suggest you practice with this in your personal account. Don't use any personal information when you're asking, but I highly suggest you start practicing using Gemini just so you understand how it works. And it works very similar to other tools, right? So if I paste this prompt in there, in Gemini, write a short morning announcement reminding 7th graders to bring a bag lunch, and I hit enter. All right, here you go. Good morning, 7th grade. Just a friendly reminder that tomorrow's, etc. And you can modify this. Include the Spanish translation, and it has it down there. Again, double check your work. Make sure that you have a Spanish speaker look at it to make sure it makes sense. And again, these are chatbots. You want to chat with it. Maybe you want to be silly, right? Include, funny joke, appropriate, for, middle school in the message. All right, so let's see what that looks like. I want to include a joke in there. And speaking of plants, why did the scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. That's actually funny. That's actually a really good dad joke right there. Karen, you're using Gemini for lesson planning. Thank you for sharing that. If folks want to share how they're using these tools in the chat, please do. But again, so this is using Gemini, okay? Again, it's not currently accessible with your New York City schools accounts, but coming soon. Well, look at this. I can copy this and then you could put it in a different tool. Here, let me switch what I'm sharing. And I'm gonna go to, okay, I'm in Copilot right now. Copilot.microsoft. If you Google Copilot, they change the URL all the time. Copilot is available in your New York City schools accounts. And I'm gonna paste the same prompt, write a short morning announcement. Okay, there it is. Oh, that's nice. It has emojis on there. All these tools work similarly, but there's small differences. All right. And so you can copy this, put in a Google Doc, what have you. And you can do the same thing, include Spanish translation. All right, there we go. In Spanish, again, double check your work, and I'll do the same thing. Include a funny joke with it that is appropriate for middle school. And I'm gonna leave it misspelt. Let's see what joke it has here. Please remember to bring a Oh, and here's a joke. That's funny. It did the same joke. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Wow, I didn't expect that. Um, I highly encourage people to copy and paste their prompts into different AI tools, be it Copilot, Magic School, Gemini. Wow, I was expecting it to be a different joke. So how these things work, they're trained on, they're trained on every piece of writing online, which when you say that out loud, that's mind blowing. But yeah, that's interesting that they're using the same joke. Do your own tests, okay? All right, so that's Copilot. You have access to it. I'm going to switch back to my other window. Okay. But I highly recommend you testing out Gemini, because once it does get enabled for New York City, I think it'll be great. I think it'll be like Google Classroom, where everybody's just going to be using it. Yes, and Rochelle, thank you for asking that question. I am providing an intro to the course. You will log in and do it at your own time. I'm giving everybody context and information on what to expect, but you will do this on your own time. Yes. All right, so going back to the slide deck, or here we go, going back to the course. So we went over, how to write an AI prompt, and there's some other things. So let me go back to the slide deck. So the course, you do it on your own time, 2 hours. You do the 12 question assessment. You will get your certificate. Again, the course only focuses on how you as an educator will use AI. If you're interested in using AI with your students, there are some resources here that we'll share with everybody. Day of AI is a really great organization. They have resources that you can use for your students. I think this is geared toward middle school. They may have included more information, but even let's say you teach high school, you could still use some of these units that are targeted toward a different grade, just to see how an organization like this promotes AI use for students. All right, so there's some some curriculum here, some AI policies. Okay, so this is here, so you can use that to use with your students. And then experience AI. Okay, sure. There's some free lessons here, again, made in collaboration with Google. DeepMind is their AI research arm. And then Raspberry Pi is a really cool organization that's been around for a long time. They focus on physical computing, so like building different machines. So there are some lessons here. Okay, foundations of AI, AI safety. These you can use with your students. All right, so that's a lot of fun right there. Okay. And yeah, so this is the example of the certificate. I took this nearly 1 year ago, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. So that's pretty much the overview of using this course. Okay. I wanted to give some people some time to play around with it, or if anybody has any questions, I'm free to take any questions. So maybe, okay. Katrina, feel free to ask me a question.
Hi, Santi. So I'm in Gemini right now.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe because I haven't used Gemini before, but I see that I'm logged in.
Okay.
I don't know what to do afterwards. Like it says chat with Gemini. Do I press that?
Oh, chat with Gemini. Click on that, and then it should give you a screen that looks like this.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me come back to your screen.
Yeah, right. It should look like that.
Should look like. Oh no, I'm not getting that. Gemini Advanced. Oh, of course.
Okay.
Because it has me logged under my DOE profile, and you said use your private email.
Yes.
So you have to be logged in to use Gemini.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Esther, I'm putting the link to the course in the chat. I might pin this also. Yes, Katrina, right now you don't have access to Gemini with your New York City Schools account, because it's going through a security,
right.
Audit, clearance, what have you. It should, the hope and the expectation is that it'll be available soon. I don't know when. And then once that happens, again, game over for every other AI tool out there. It's going to be a game changer. But right now, I encourage people to test out Gemini using your personal account to see how that works.
Okay.
And if you did want to use AI in your at schools account, you would use Copilot. So you can Google Microsoft Copilot,
Copilot,
and
got it.
they work similarly.
So for the purpose of this course, it's suggested that we use Gemini.
Actually, no. This course doesn't suggest anything.
Oh, okay.
It actually suggests you to use whatever you have access to. Okay, so Gemini, Copilot doesn't matter. Again, this course is AI tool agnostic, which is good for them. So whatever you learn in this course, you can apply to Copilot, Magic School, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever, because they all work similarly enough, right? Here's a metaphor. You can learn how to drive from a driving school, right? But whatever car you use when you're driving, you can still apply those tools to any other car, right? If I learned in a Honda, I can drive a Ford or a Chevy or a Toyota. All the mechanics are going to be similar. It's the same idea with this. Jacqueline, you don't have to complete it in one sitting. You can start it, look around, come back to it. You don't have to. Is this same course advertised in Google Classroom? I don't think so. Are there advertisements in Google Classroom? I'm not sure. Tracy, yes.
We've got a great question here saying, do they get CTLE hours for both? So today and if they do this 2-hour course?
Good question. Unfortunately, you will only get CTLE credits for this PD. You would not get it for that course because as much as I want to take credit for building that course, I didn't. And so I can't give CTLE credits for that. However, I just put the CTLE form in the chat, also pinned. Please click on that and request 1 hour of CTLE credit. Okay. Yes, today, 1 hour CTLE credit, that Gen AI course, you're doing that for your own education and benefit. Anyone else? Any other questions here? Yeah, if anybody has any questions, or if you want to share how you're using AI in your class, I would love to hear how people are doing that. Okay. All right. I'm going to assume folks are filling out the CTLE credit form. Please do that. Please take a few minutes to do that and request your 1 hour of CTLE credit. The location is virtual. The name of the session is Generative AI for Educators. You do not have to be in your school's account to request credit. No, you don't have to. It doesn't matter. You can put whatever email address. I guess to make it official, you could use your DOE account, but I'm just going to email you a certificate to whatever email you put in there, and then you would keep track of that for your own with your own records. Stephanie, thank you for sharing that. You had a student create a poster using Adobe AI Generate. That's awesome. There are really great AI tools in Adobe Express as well as Canva. So if you're doing like a multimedia project, those are really great AI tools. And I think I saw in the chat somebody's using it for lesson planning. I think everyone should explore how this can help your existing lesson plans, your existing resources. Again, like a big benefit of this is that you can upload your lesson plan, make sure it doesn't have any personal information, and ask it to differentiate for your students. Again, maybe you have some L's in your class, or like a student that requires some special modification. You just put that in your prompt and it'll give you that. It's incredible. Let's see. We have some people sharing some stuff. Wow. So you fed DeepSeek a document from the 1950s. How to identify a communist. Writing samples. Wow. Wow. That's cool. That's cool. Adam, thank you for sharing that. I personally have not used DeepSeek. I've heard really interesting things about it. I encourage you to do that same process using other tools. You can upload things to Microsoft Copilot. I believe you can upload things to Magic School. And then once Gemini is enabled, you should be able to upload it to that too, and then see what it gives you and compare. But that's a super interesting. I love this stuff. So again, nobody's an expert. We're all experimenting this. That's cool. You're sharing this. Barbara, you used Magic School to make a rubric. Awesome, very thorough. You're shocked at how good it was. There's a lot of shock happening at how good these things can be. But also, that's a testament to how good your prompting is. So good for you on that. Thank you, Barbara, for sharing that. Yes, and you should modify. You're not going to get the perfect response. You should edit these responses, these resources you get back, and make sure that your own vision, your own voice is still in that response, right? These AI tools, they're soulless, right? It's just a computer, it's just algorithm, it's just math. We as human beings, we have a voice, we have a vision. Make sure that is still there. That's what makes us human. Cool, Adam, you're saying the sample was great. Awesome, man. Yeah, definitely test it out with ChatGPT, etc. Nicole, diffit.it. I've not used that. I need to check that out. That's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I might open up a new tab and throw it in here and see what it looks like.
Anti-diffit is a great thing for differentiating, creating questions, all sorts. You can paste in text,
Oh, wow.
You can get ready-made activities,
Very cool.
mainly all Google-based. It's really, really good, very, very strong.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to add that so what I do is I would, like, let's say I have a reading, I can ask for a varied level of the reading, and when you put it in, it will give you, like things for vocabulary, questions and places for kids to write, like the reason why they chose the answer. It puts the reading with a column on the side for kids to put in like the main idea. You could go online and learn how to adjust the template. It is like one of the most amazing tools. Once I found out about it, I've been using it all the time. It's just really great.
Nicole, thank you so much for sharing that. This seems like a really great, resource for teachers. Definitely check that out. Again, I'm sure the content in the Gen AI course will, give you ideas on how to use these tools, safely and effectively. But thank you for sharing that. Let's see what else. Just real quick, again, Gemini soon. I'm praying that it's going to be, ready for every teacher in New York City. One of the really powerful, I guess, like features of Gemini is this thing called gems, GEM, like a diamond, a gem. So a gem is kind of like a pre-trained AI tool. And so here's some pre-made gems, just to give an idea of what they look like. So one of them's like a brainstormer, right? Like, find inspiration. There's a career guide, and all of these things, they're like prompted to help you have like a specific response. So for example, I have there's a gem here that's a copy creator. All right. So like a text creator, kind of like for marketing. And then I have in here, help me write 10 taglines for a new product. It is a new pencil that tastes bad when you bite it. Right. So it gives me this response asking me for, what's the core purpose of this pencil? And I said, prevent kids from chewing their pencils. And it gave me, it's like, hey, do you want this to be, funny, whatever? I said, give me examples of everything. And then this gem, again, that's like that was pre-made to, help brainstorm copy. It gave me these taglines that are kind of funny, right? The pencil that bites back so your kids don't. Tastes so bad, it's good for their grades. These gems I feel like are going to be interesting because you can pre-program a gem. And here I asked Gemini, what are some good gems that teachers can make once you finally have access to Gemini? So you can have a gem that's customized to standards, certain standards. You can have a NYC STEM gem that's like pre-prompted to focus on like STEM-based responses, multilingual support. So the difference between these gems and just like pasting it in like a regular AI tool is that when you paste something in a regular AI tool, it's starting from scratch. You got to go back and forth with the conversation to get that right response, right? You got to still say, hey, make sure that you're taking into account students with disabilities or English language learners, what have you. With the gems, all of that context is already in there. So you just send your prompt, and then your response is already tailored to what you're looking for. You know, you can have a gem that's for IEPs, differentiation, administrative gems. And then the cool thing is that these gems can be shared with other people too. So if you're in a, you know, like a science team, and your responses, you want your responses to be a certain way, you can share this gem with other people in your science team, and then use AI that way. So again, once these tools get approved for New York City teachers, it's going to be a game changer in terms of how these AI tools are going to be used to support what you're doing. All right, so back to the chat here. I want to see what people are sharing. Corey, thank you for sharing. A Magic School to produce tiered questions. Fantastic. Brisk, I've heard good things about Brisk. Jacqueline, thank you for sharing that. I've not used that before. IEP goals, very cool. Magic School, ChatGPT, awesome. Gemini, text-based. So that's interesting. So you asked, can you make slides or PowerPoints? Right now, you cannot. Like, you can't like have it make a slide presentation. However, you can have it create your outline, or like what content you might want in your Google slide, and then just follow that when you're building the slide. And you know what? Like, who knows? Maybe next year they're going to have that support where you like click a button and make slides for you. There are some, you know, non-approved websites already out there that will like automatically join or automatically create slides that are like AI. I don't think they're there yet. They're kind of clunky, but I would suggest using a tool like Gemini to give you your outline of your slide. You just make it. All right. What is the title? Yeah, the title again. Gen AI right here. That's the title. All right. All right. So Generative AI for Educators Course and Certification. That's the title. Chatting with a historical character. You know, I've heard hot takes on that. That depending on how you do that, it might be it might be disrespectful to the person who's deceased, which I could see that also. But like, some people are doing that. Some people are talking to, you know, saying, hey, AI, you know, pretend to be Abraham Lincoln or what have you. Pretend to be this, you know, deceased author, and let's have a conversation. So I think there are more tactful ways to do that. But yeah, that's an interesting use case. Robert, how can I learn how to automate routine tasks or through emails? Robert, you know, one of the main things right now, one of the big conversations in AI is about agents, and you're going to hear more about this. And what AI agents are. It's taking this idea of an AI tool, but they can do things on your behalf, such as go through your email, research a vacation, book the vacation using your credit card information. I love having conversations about agents with, like, you know, like people who are in this space, because like many people are not talking about that yet, and we're going to see more of that. But right now, if you look up agents and what they do, they're definitely not approved for DOE, but like those things will sort through your emails and reply to them. Agents. So if that's something you want to research on your own, just so you're on the cutting edge of this stuff, I'd recommend looking at that. All right. Can these platforms be used with a school account? Yes, Yara, you can use Magic School and Copilot with your school account. Gemini, do that with your personal account, just to test out how it works. All right. Brisk for quick feedback. Awesome. Creating bespoke images. Agents tend to be paid. Yeah. I think there are some where you get like a free like trial, but proceed with caution. Again, I like learning about agents. I've not done them yet, but like that's where we're going next. And that's going to be interesting, you know, when we get there. Anyway, folks, thank you everybody for joining us. All of the resources are in the chat pinned. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. I'm going to email everybody the recording, the resources that we went over, and your CTLE credits. If you filled out that form, I'm going to email you your certificate right away. Okay. I hope everybody, there's still sunlight out there. I hope everybody has a chance to get outside, get that vitamin D. Thank you so much for joining us today. I love your support. I appreciate that. I'm going to email everybody information for the next one. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll hang around for a little bit longer if anybody has any questions. But thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Santi, I have one quick question.
Please.
How do you go about recertifying for the Google certifications?
Oh, the level 1, level 2?
Uh-huh.
Okay. If you're still on this call and you're interested in a level 1 or level 2 voucher, here, I'll put it in the chat. Thank you for asking. So the vouchers that I have, they expire in 11 days. So if you're interested in it, that's not letting me copy and paste for some reason. Hold on. If you're interested in it, I can, oh, I don't know why it's not. Hold on. I can give you a voucher.
Thank you. And that's for both?
Yes. I don't know. Something's wrong with my keyboard. Hold on. It's not letting me copy and paste. Okay. You know what? If you're interested, just send me an email. The
Okay.
purpose of the voucher is to, so if you want to take the Google level 1 or level 2 certification, there's a cost. It's like $5 for level 1, $10 for level 2. I have vouchers that waive that fee. Also, if you want to be a Google trainer and you're interested in taking that exam, I think that one's like $25. I have vouchers to make them free. But again, my vouchers, they expire in like 11 days. So you would have to take them soon. But send me an email and then I'll send you a form to request a voucher and I'll send you one. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Santi.
Yeah. Whatever you're interested in. Aaron, question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, sorry, can you put your email in the chat just so I can copy it now?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Right now.
Thank you. This was a great course.
Oh, good. Thank you so much for joining. And I'm sorry I can't copy and paste for some reason. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. I just put it in the chat. I just pinned it also, and I'll pin my email. But there's a form in there. You click on that, and then this is the form to request a voucher. Okay, so you fill it out more than once if you want more than one voucher. Okay.
Kind of like a dumb question, but what are the purposes? What is the purpose of getting certified for the different things that there is?
Yeah.
How can I benefit from getting certified?
Yeah, good question, man. So I mean, it's official recognition from Google that you are a Google educator, that you know how to use the tools. And so a lot of educators like having that badge of honor and that official accreditation from Google that you're level 1, level 2. Another benefit is if you're thinking about being a Google certified trainer. Oops, hold on one second. If you want to be, if you want to be a Google certified trainer, you have to take a level 1 and level 2. You have to have those certifications and then you can apply. And then once you go through the program, and I typically lead a session on this too, you're added to a directory of people who are trainers in your area. Let's see. So this is the EDU directory, and people can find you and reach out to you and ask you to lead a training. So you have some DOE educators that are on here. I know them. Some people who attended this session. I'm on here somewhere. And so it depends what your purpose is, but ultimately at the end of the day, a lot of teachers like doing a level 1, level 2 to get that official recognition from Google that you know how to use these tools, and it looks good on your resume.
Thank you, Santi.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and as Tracy said, you can become a champion. Rick, you do have to recertify. It's after like 2 or 3 years. So you typically get an email from Google saying, "Hey, your certification is up," and then you would have to do the exam. They revamped all the exams like 3 years ago, and they're much easier to take now. Before, it was great. You had to sit down for 3 hours and take that exam. Hardcore. Now you can get it done in 30 minutes, right? So, and it still covers the core ideas. So definitely, if you're interested in the vouchers, fill that out, and then I'll send you one. All right, Stephanie, thank you so much. I appreciate your support there. All right. So I'll hang out for a few more minutes. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions here.
And for the vouchers, is better the work school email?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
The vouchers, but when you do register for the exam, yeah, we say use your personal email to register for it, like just in case like you decide to, you know, take on a different profession and then your DOE email doesn't work anymore, you know. But I mean, if you know you're going to be in the DOE for the next couple of years, you can use your DOE one. But to be safe, we recommend using your personal account.
Thank you so much, and have an amazing evening.
Oh, you as well, man. Thank you. Laura, we got here. Thank you. Working on your dissertation. Very cool. I want to learn more about that. Yeah, Laura, thank you for joining us. Yeah, I would love to learn more about your dissertation on AI. It's again, nobody's an expert. We're all learning about this. It's all new. Okay. So yeah, my email's in the chat. If you have any questions, send me an email. I'm gonna share all the resources with everybody. I'll give it another, say, minute if you get approved by the DOE. What do you mean by that? What gets approved? Your dissertation or?
Yeah,
IRB.
I got approved through my university for my proposal back in September, and I've been going through the IRB to get approval to do a survey of teachers since October. And I just keep, it's a constant struggle and run around, and it's been quite the journey.
You know,
Who knew the hardest part of a dissertation was going to be getting through a second IRB, not even my first or my primary.
Laura, that's interesting. I was actually having a conversation with a friend of mine. We're talking about the IRB and just like how difficult it is. And so hearing that from you, I believe it. Good luck. I hope it goes through.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, what's your dissertation on? What's the elevator pitch?
Well, technically, I had started this last year when AI was really just kind of scratching the surface, which is, I still feel like it's just scratching the surface.
Totally.
But I'm trying to examine teachers' perceptions of how AI can be used. It goes hand in hand with the training, how it can be used in instruction, and whether or not we should be using these tools to teach our students, like to actually train our students in using them.
That's
with ethics. I'm trying to find a good way to say this.
Yeah.
Not to cheat, because I teach high school students that use it to cheat and try and like skirt the system.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
That's cool. Laura, that's great. Thank you for sharing that.
Laura, you might want to check out Barton College, sixth form college in the UK. They are completely AI, but obviously they are older students.
That's cool.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Laura, for sharing that. I would love to learn more about what you're researching. If you ever need, you know, any perspective or on any of that, feel free to send me an email.
Great. Thank you so much again.
Yeah.
This was wonderful.
Absolutely. All right. I think I'm going to close it out. Folks, thank you so much. Let me check this one more time. Oh, okay. AT Expo tomorrow. Oh, awesome. Aaron, yeah, have a great session at the AT Expo. I used to do some trainings with them. I don't know if that's part of Mary Chris's team. If it is, say hi to her for me. But have a great session. Everyone, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm gonna end this session now. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Oh, I can't end it for everyone. I gotta wait till everybody leaves. All right. Thank you. I'll hang up.
Okay, people, we're both going to hang up.
Yeah.
Take
Yes.
care. Have a great evening.
Yes.